I set up this thing where the group I'm in, we're gonna try to take an LSAT simulation basically every weekend. Do you think that's feasible, or you should be trying to take a practice LSAT every weekend, or you think it's just study 1 week, take an LSAT another week, and then just opt out? Or can you continually take an LSAT, or is it okay to take an LSAT for practice LSAT every weekend? I guess is my question.
It's okay, assuming that you have enough of a foundation to get value out of it. So I imagine that the folks in your study group, I mean, they've all been, you said that they're aiming for after April. So they've got at least approximately we're speaking now in very beginning of March, they've got at least 3.5 months till the June LSAT, right? So I don't know how much studying they've done prior. Do they all have for yourself and others, do they all have a general familiarity with the different sections and the different question types?
I don't know how thorough it is. I remember in my logical reasoning review that I sent in the group me that there were some questions that really tested your focus or your know-how of conditional logic. And if you didn't know the thorough understanding of conditional logic, you're probably going to get this answer wrong. It's just that aspect, and then knowing all the many types of flaws you can get in a question. But I feel, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I feel like they have a basic understanding of everything. Some have said that, yeah, I'm not prepared to take a practice LSAT. Yeah, I'm like, by all means, don't take one. But I also said, sooner or later, you're going to need to take at least one just to have a feel of it. Because I took my first official test in January, and having it being my first official test, I just crashed. So I feel like what I took out from that, yeah, I did horrible, even though I was practicing pretty decently prior to. It's just having the experience of taking that test firsthand and knowing what to expect now is going to be so beneficial for me come either June, August, maybe even September if I bomb June or August.
Well, you've got plenty of time between now and June, between now and August, that I see no reason why you would crash and burn or burn out or anything like that or bomb it. I don't see how that should even be a possibility. You've got enough time where you can make anything happen over the next 3.5 months between now and June. As for the general question, I mean, a thorough understanding of conditional logic. I think a lot of people who take the LSAT don't really have that. And you can certainly prepare to gain that understanding. But taking practice LSATs can give the exposure to some of the nuances of conditionality if the student's not going to encounter them in isolation in a separate lesson, for example. I mean, I have tons of lessons covering conditionality, conditional chains, contrapositives, things of that nature. So someone who's lacking that, I'd tell them, watch that video in the course library. I've got it covered from many different angles. But I could also say, well, there's lots of lessons in the course library. Maybe they'll cover something else before taking their practice LSAT. So that's fine. You don't need to have that level of depth to benefit from a practice LSAT. But I would also want someone to at least know what the contrapositive is, and then the common pitfalls of reversal and negation. Mm-hmm. Like that would be, I think, enough on that particular topic. Ideally, I just want someone to know, okay, well, what's a logic game? What's logical reasoning in general? What's reading comp in general? Maybe know about ordering games and grouping games. Mm-hmm. And some to have some prior familiarity and exposure.
Yeah.
But that alone could be enough to do a practice LSAT a week and benefit from it. I just wouldn't want someone who's totally new to it to take a practice test and then get really discouraged by the results.
No, of course not. No. That will kill you.
But I mean, for anyone who's been in the course for a couple of weeks or a month and has attended some of the live classes and watched the foundational videos, I'd feel comfortable telling them, yeah, go ahead and take a practice LSAT a week, but take those results with a big grain of salt, knowing that it does not reflect your ultimate potential, especially if you're taking the LSAT 3.5 months from now. There's plenty of time to learn and improve along the way, and the practice LSATs plus review can help you do that. I'm glad you got the study group going. Are you guys going to meet every weekend? Is that kind of the plan?
That's the plan as of now. We've done one We still, I think they've already reviewed the logical reasoning section already. So now we only have the reading comprehension. So we're going to try to aim to do that Tuesday. But the goal is to take, if you're comfortable, take a practice test every weekend up to the week of test day. Obviously, don't take one during the week of test day. Just give yourself the rest period before a race, per se.
I would actually disagree with that a little bit, slightly. I mean, I certainly wouldn't want anyone to take a practice LSAT
like directly before, yeah.
The day before, and maybe not even 2 days before, depending on how the person feels. But I think in that final week, for a lot of people, it could be helpful. You want to walk into test day itself fresh, but let's say hypothetically your LSAT is on a Saturday. Don't do anything Friday. Take Friday completely off. Maybe don't do anything Thursday either. But doing a practice LSAT on a Tuesday or Wednesday, taking some time to review it, for some folks that could be helpful. The question is, why are you taking it? Yeah. So I don't think that rest the entire week before is necessary, but maybe a couple days before. But everyone's got to judge their energy level and what they're looking to get out of it. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.